Yeah, it's definitely possible. I mean, if you have a Nature's Prophet, you obviously want to go for at least some form of push. If not, they could have gone for like a global strategy of sorts, pick up an Ancient Apparition or what have you, but it's a 3M Protector instead. That's a hero I didn't really think I'll see
It's
coming
the
up as
tree
the second
strat, man.
pick.
It's the tree strat.
Man, the more trees for the win.
Yeah, basically, unless they pick Timbersaw. But actually, I really like these two heroes in conjunction. I think they're often overlooked just because Furion's always going to be able to push out the lanes, and it's going to be really difficult to get there and put chip damage on the towers. When you have a Tree Protector, chip damage just means absolutely nothing. So you have to commit to a tower, and when you commit to a tower, Nature's Prophet can always split push. And not to mention, just Wrath of Nature is really, really good anti-push. He doesn't even have to be there. Just throw it on the other side of the map, and it gets really strong by the time it reaches that tower. And Team Trails, they'll go for the tried and true Faceless Void. So that'll be decent, especially for catching out the Nature's Prophet. But still, they don't have a whole lot of ways to remove living armor, and they don't have a whole lot of tower push.
Yes, so far at least not, although just Skyros Mage faces Void, like you said, tried and tested. It's too common of a combination, if I may put it like that. Of course, they still can go for something like a Witch Doctor as well, to just deal extra damage in Team Trials. They do ban out the Jakiro, which Balkan Bears love to run, even in the mid lane, Jakiro replays it, so they do take that out just to make sure, and actually Shadow Shaman as well, of course, a pushing support. But, oh never mind, Death Prophet was banned before already, whew, thank god.
Yeah, I think that Dragon Knight would be a really strong pickup here for Balkan Bears. It's a hero that I think is often overlooked just for a staple in the mid lane, plus it's a decent counter to Treant Protector. It's also a hero that's really difficult to kill inside Chronosphere. So I think they could pick that up. Otherwise, it would also be a good pick for Team Trails just to eat through the living armor. And people normally say, like, oh, he's a melee hero that doesn't really synergize well with Faceless Void, but for all intents and purposes, you're not really looking to take a team fight with DK unless he has his ultimate, which when he has that, he's a ranged hero, so he can do pretty well in Chrono. So
Yeah, it definitely would be a nice pick. I have missed the Dragon Knight. It used to be pretty damn popular as the mid laner, but not so much at all these days anymore. So maybe, just maybe we will see it.
I think it's just like there are a lot of ranged mid laners. Well, there are a lot of ranged mid laners that DK doesn't do like the greatest against, like Death Prophet and such. But if you think about other good mid laners, it was just Brewmaster was offered a little bit more, Viper offered a little bit more in the mid lane. So it's not like Dragon Knight ever got bad. Just people forget sometimes.
Yeah, but
So
at the moment, a lot of those mid laners are banned out. The Death Prophet, Razor, Viper, and the Brewmaster, all of them.
oh
So
yeah, oh
Dragon
yeah,
Knight
that was
definitely
one I
could
was trying
be.
to think about. Razor is the one that really craps on Dragon Knight real hard.
Yeah, I mean, Razor craps on a lot of heroes. I mean, at least most melee heroes, at the very least. But
Well,
Balkan
at
Bears, they've
least
slowed their draft down considerably now, just trying to figure out the third pick.
well, this is always when it slows down because when you pick a third pick, it basically locks you into a style of draft. Like right now, if you just have Furion, Tree, and Protector, you can do basically anything. But if you have Furion, Tree, and Protector and you pick one more hero, you either commit to having both your supports, you reveal your mid lane, or you reveal your carry, which kind of locks you into a style you really have to go for. You can't really call an audible around the fourth or fifth pick as easily. So it's important to really think these up. And this is a Wraith King coming up. I think that this is a Wraith King support.
I do
I
know
wouldn't be
that Balkan
surprised if it's a
Bears,
carry.
Like to run it in a core role a lot. So just judging from that, it might be a core one, but we will see.
I think the only reason that they wouldn't want to run it as a support is just because you would have double strength melee, low mana pool supports. So that would be really difficult for your laning phase. And also Wraith King he's picked up commonly as a quote-unquote soft counter to Faceless Void just because if you get caught under Chronosphere but you have Reincarnation, it's not the biggest deal in the world. And not to mention he'll almost always have used his Time Walk to get in position for the Chronosphere, so the slow is going to be really good for your team. So it's decent, but at the same time, super late in the game, unless a Wraith King is ahead, has a Divine and buyback, things like that. If he dies once, he'll die twice, most of the time. But Visage comes up now for Team Trails. I think this is a hero that's really neglected.
I mean, just the burst damage coming out from that is pretty sick. Familiars can also be used for some XN split pushing, which might come in handy up against the Nature Prophet, just to keep the creep equilibrium at a normal state at the very least.
Do you think they go Drow? I
Well,
think they can go Drow here
yeah, I think it would be actually a pretty nice pickup here.
because you have a lot of range heroes with the Chronosphere as well. You can put Drow in the mid lane, throw Void in the off lane, have your Skywrath and Visage just in the safe lane or roaming around.
Plus, just kiting the Wraith King, man, carry Wraith King would get wrecked by a draw.
Yeah, absolutely. But so Balkan Bears go with the Silencer. I don't see this hero that often. And there was that period of like 2 or 3 weeks where just like all the EU teams like Empire and Fnatic were just picking up, an Alliance were just picking up Silencer all the time. And you're like, man, this guy's, he's a real piece of work. Really, really difficult to fight. And I'll say, having played Faceless Void against a carry Silencer, it's one of the most difficult things. Because you can't pop your BKB preemptively or else you can't cast Chrono. And if you get silenced and then pop your BKB, it's just really difficult to deal with, and you have to go BKB first. You don't have a whole lot of damage, but Team Trails, at least most of the heroes on their team are going to get some free damage because they do have the Drow Ranger.
Yeah, that's actually... I mean, Drow definitely does not rely on spells to dish out the damage. Just needs to get the levels, needs to get the marksmanship up, and just right-click away. Yes, it's going to be nice to get the Gust and the Frost Arrows, but wow, Balkan Bears finished the lineup with a Zeus. And to be
Global
honest,
strat.
it can be extremely devastating before Team Trials start picking up BKBs.
It really all depends on his matchup in the mid lane. I'm thinking this is going to be a Drow in the safe lane. Whenever you're running the Drow Visage combo, okay, so Windrunner is pretty good. But whenever you run a Drow in the safe lane, or sorry, when you run these Aura strats, you really depend on the Drow getting safe farm. And yeah, you get more levels in the mid lane, but it's actually a little bit... You're pretty vulnerable to ganks, and you can just farm up a Hand of Midas, go into the jungle, hit level 11 really early, especially you're on the dire side, get a Helm of the Dominator, get an Alpha Wolf, you can solo Roche as well. And Windrunner in the mid lane is going to do very, very well against Zeus, especially with that extra damage.
Yeah, I mean, the damage will definitely help out throughout the entirety of their lineup almost. Faceless Void, of course, the only one unaffected by it. But Balkan Bears, if they get off to a decent enough start, they have the ability to just go around bursting people down. The Zeus, the damage, and like you said, the global strat, Nature Prophet, Wrath of Nature to bounce around as well, with the Thunder God's Wrath giving vision. It's definitely a little bit scary, but Team Trials, if they can just weather the storm, they should be good come late game.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and introduce the teams. On the side of Balkan Bears, we're going to have Pandrino on the Carry Wraith King, on the Treant Protector. We're going to have Zenigata. Actually, is that a Carry Wraith King? Yeah, it is. Okay. And going in the off lane as the Furion, we're going to have Hockey. As a support silencer, it's going to be W33. And going in the mid lane as the Zeus, it's going to be Levy.
And for Team Trials up on the dark side, Fury will be playing the offlane Faceless Void, leaving Yalexan on the mid lane Wind Ranger as Turum up on the Skywrath Mage, with Makan playing the Visage, and the last one for them will be LVZ on the Drow Ranger, or Yakami, however you want to call it.
Well,
just
so
based on, yeah, go.
What do you think about Windrunner as a hero in general? I think she's coming back.
Yeah, I think that hero is just strong as all hell. Not only, I mean, early to mid game pretty good, just power shot deals a lot of damage. Shackle shot, one of the craziest disables if you manage to latch it onto 2 heroes. And just the carry potential with the focus fire is so good, and it's always nice if a semi-carry of sorts has a pretty decent escape mechanism or just can stay alive in the fights.
Yeah, absolutely. She's also just such a strong laner as well. Really good attack range, lots of spammable AoE. And look at this, just with the aura at level 1 power shot, Levy's, he's almost lost 200 HP.
Yeah, I mean, just even the 5 extra damage coming in from Precision Aura at the moment is so good. And I can just wait for your Alexan to pick up Face Boots now as well. The damage output will just be absolutely sick, and Zeus, his range is pretty damn horrible, so he actually has to rely a lot on his Arc Lightning to actually get the farm for himself. And if he goes up too close, the Wind Ranger will definitely just exploit that.
Yeah, absolutely. But in the bottom lane, we see that Fury's getting zoned out a lot. He already had to burn through his salve and take Time Walk level 1. Not to mention he's only gotten 77 experience points compared to the Nature's Prophet in the offlane, who did not go boots first, interestingly enough. He's got about the same, but using the trees, he's trying to block the pools, get some stuff for himself. But Skywrath Mage with those extra clarities is definitely burning through that that Nature's Prophet's life points pretty easily.
Yeah, it's definitely not the hardest thing to do. I mean, armor is decent for Nature's Prophet, but Arcane Bolt, he doesn't care too much as Fury. Trying to go in and leech some of the XP that the pulls from Balkan Bears just allow him to. But we first point into Glaives of Wisdom actually on a support silencer. It's not something you see every day, but I guess in just harassing away the enemy offlaner, it is the best spell. Or the most
Well,
cost
the other
efficient.
thing is, well, the other thing is for your mana, it's 15 mana, and Last Word, Curse of the Silent, all cost they cost 115 and then 75 mana. So it's very, very mana efficient when you expect to hit a very quick level 2 and you want to prioritize the harassment, because Silencer's base int is 27. It's ridiculous.
It's definitely not too shabby, and actually makes his way to the mid lane as well. I guess he wants to soak up level 2 Levi. Did find himself an Invis rune, but unfortunately didn't have a bottle to just use the rune in, get the refresh on the bottle as well at the same time. So, looks like enemy offlaners, they're in a pretty similar situation, but the difference between them is that Nature's Prophet, he can always go into the jungle if need be.
Yeah. Basis Void, still level 1, eats the Leech Seed to the face and has to time walk away. And I'm interested in seeing when this Furion's just going to give up and go to the jungle, though. I'm also thinking, I'm wondering if they're going to do a really popular thing you can do with an aura-based carry in your safe lane, such as Drow, such as Luna, is do that single pull at 315, and then just take the tower with a double wave in the first catapult, which just gives you so much gold, and yeah, it gives the enemy offlaner a little bit of space, but it gives your offlaner some much needed gold. It gives your mid laner a little bit, and your supports especially can really benefit from that.
Well, I guess Hockey, Nature's Prophet with his 3 should be able to throw the creep aggro away with relative ease, to be honest. So it might backfire a little bit, giving just a lot of XP into the Nature's Prophet.
Well, they're going to do it. The Visage already did it, so he's going to get this double wave. The catapult is a little out in front, though, so since you missed that catapult, I don't think this is going to work.
Well, Yakami, he can kite the creeps around. The creeps just prioritize heroes over catapults, so looks like that is going to be the case as well here. And actually only one range creep survives the pull.
Well, it just this timing push very heavily depends on keeping the catapult alive. So it's taken a lot of damage, unfortunately, and yeah, he's just going to deny it. So they're not going to go for this push. He didn't even activate the precision aura. So anyway, if we're looking at the mid lane, Zeus, as expected, getting owned a little bit. 8 last hits behind and a couple denies as well. And he's also out of mana. He's been having to spam that Arc Lightning to try to get his last hits, and he is having a Bottle Crow as well. Almost has his boots, but the Windrunner has her boots finished, and she'll have Phase boots pretty soon. I'm curious to see what item she goes for. It's not uncommon to go for a mech. Windrunner makes a great mech carrier, or just going for a Blink or a Force Staff right away to help get in position for your Shackle shots and start team fighting.
Yeah, man, I would love to see the Force Staff just get the mobility. Although, there's really no other mech carrier. I guess Visage could build for one. It's just a matter of it being most likely delayed by a hell of a lot if he goes for it. So
well, the thing is, when you go for Drow Visage, you really don't want your Visage to be a mech carrier just because you want to rush that Ags right away. Because you get such a big timing window whenever you have those 3 familiars. While everyone's such a low level, everyone has low HP, things like that. So you kind of just sacrifice a little bit of your positioning and your health and a little bit for the team. But going for the Ags is ultimately better, I think.
I kind of tend to agree with you. Just the Axe is such a huge upgrade. Not only in survivability, but also just the boost, getting extra familiar. Fury though might be in trouble. Gonna get stunned by the Brave Blast. Last word activated as well. The leap comes out. He still takes a pretty nice amount of damage and only has 1 tango left.
Yeah, but he's still level 3 already, and compared to the Furion, who's still a lower level and has been jungling. Tower's going to get taken top, though, so this is what I expected. Drow already has her agility treads as well, so pumping in that extra agility. I'm surprised, though, that she didn't go for the Hand of Midas, unless she's still just going to go for it a little bit later.
Well, actually, just look at the room's positioning. They want to set up something onto Haki here, if it's not too careful. And Living Armor, of course, just keeps on healing the tower back up, little by little, keeping it alive. Although with the next push, they might be able to bring it down, especially if Windrunner chooses to go there. Nope. They're going to leave it just to the tri lane.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Focus Fire is going to eat through Living Armor really easily. I did not even think about that.
Yeah, it's definitely something you don't just pick up. It's like Liquid Fire or the, like you mentioned as well in the draft, the Dragon Knight,
yeah.
Corrosive Breath.
Well, Faceless Void might be having a little bit of trouble here. He eats a Wraith Fire Blast, and he has a Time Lock. He's totally fine.
We're 7 minutes and still no kills unless Durum he gets the Brave Fire Blast. Thundergrats have to come out as well. Fury has to be a little bit careful. Makan gets the Grave Shield, but he gets sprouted up. The right clicks to follow. Senigata gets the body block for a little while and will go down in return. But it is definitely a worthy trade.
That was a really, really smart TP coming in. Shackle Shot gonna throw, not gonna latch actually, just because that creep died at the last second. But still, Windrunner hitting for a lot right now, hitting for over 100.
Yeah, that's mean just a finished up face boots, and he can spam his spells as well. Has the regeneration rune. He's already level 8, level 3 Shackle Shot, and it just has the potential to be absolutely devastating.
For sure. She could also go for the Maelstrom build, which is also quite strong. Just with Focus Fire, and you get the Maelstrom, you get a lot of Maelstrom procs early on, and you basically just don't have to spend the extra 3,000 gold for
lane, Zeus might be in trouble. Corrosive Skin, Time Walk as well. They need a few more right clicks. Living Armor, has it already been used? It's still on cooldown. The last Arcane Bolt will get the kill. Senigata just couldn't follow up himself onto the room. Now takes some chip damage. Actually used the Chronosphere for it. What? They want this kill so damn bad. They're gonna get it.
Worth it. I mean, are they gonna look for another team fight in the next 2 minutes? No.
Top lane draw might be in trouble. Actually, Haki dropping low as well. Makan with the soul assumption as Yakami is still alive. He can't get in range, and now Makan, he doesn't have enough mana for another soul assumption. Thank God for we. But the damage, man, just the turnaround.
And this Visage is almost level 6 as well. So imagine if that happens when he has Familiar Birds and Traels able to hit the Precision Aura. He basically so supports. Oh my gosh, what a Shackle Shot. But Train Protector is really tanky.
Wow. Levi, man, just... They did not respect the Zeus damage.
Yeah. It's a lot of damage early on. And Faceless Void, he just needs a BKB this game. He doesn't have a whole lot of health. That's just not the sort of carry he's designed to be. And gonna die to that nuke damage. And now Wraith King, he goes for a Blink Dagger right away after his Treads did not go Midas as well. And Arc Boots picked up on your Zeus. So items are coming out, and Wraith King is the most farmed hero on the map right now. So the Drow's just gonna need to farm it. She's already picked up a Morbid Mask, whether this is a Helm of the Dominator or a Mask of Manliness remains to be seen.
Look at the Nature Prophet items. Triple Null Talisman. I have seen it once before.
Oh, is he going the Blade Mail build?
Yeah, I mean, I have seen it once, but it was on a mid lane Nature Prophet.
What do you think about that build?
I mean, I've seen it only once, and it just worked out absolute wonders for them. They were just fighting from the get-go. And actually the Blade Mail up against Skyref Mage, for example, for one already is absolutely excellent. And not only that, even just into Soul Assumptions, for example, anything like that. So in this game, against the lineup that Team Traels has, it can definitely work out.
It's just one of those builds that you see in pubs and you're like, wow, that's really weird, and then it just happens to work out and slowly makes its way into these Division 2 games, and it's going to work its way into Division 1 games, and then all of a sudden it's legit, and that's just the power of Dota. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see this sort of stuff happen.
Oh man, Alexan gonna find himself a double damage rune. Windrun used as well the tree and will not be able to get there in time to deny it.
That's pretty good. She still hasn't gotten anything to indicate which item build she's going to try to go for, whereas everyone else is kind of revealing their hand. I mean, it's just fairly obvious that your Skywrath Mage is going to be wanting to go for something like a Force Staff or an Atos. Visage wants to rush his Aghanim Scepter, which is made obvious. He's probably not going to be the Met carry because he did go for those Tranquil Boots, and a little bit uncommon there. But everyone else is really showing what they're going to be going for except for her.
Oh, look at where Fury is. I think Pinks came out. I think it was we pinging him, yeah. So they should be aware that the Faceless Void is hanging around. But yeah, Alexan actually has a buckler now, so he's going for the mech after all. Blink though, they get the stun as well. Do they have the burst follow of the silence? Last word comes out, this level 3 Breath of Nature to bounce and...
Oh my gosh. That really hurt. But Concussive Shot and Ancient Seal. He has Reincarnation though. Global Silence is going to be used. This is going to eat a Glades of Wisdom and everyone's just going to back off. But keep in mind, Pandrino has his ultimate. He doesn't really care. And Fury, he's going to be able to TP away. Barely. Oh.
Man, just even the Dire Courier almost went down. Had 33 HP remaining at some point. So that would have been some pretty nice extra gold for Balkan Bears there. But TP top lane from Leva. He's completely out of mana though. Just the familiar stuns and Yakami will back off just fine.
He secures a tower deny, though. That's really, really important. Towers are just a really difficult thing for TT to get a hold of, just because Nature's Prophet and Treant Protector, that opening makes it really difficult for them.
So at the moment it's 4-5, looking at the early graphs as well, it's 500 gold lead only for the team Traels. And actually XP is zeroed out after the last kills in the mid lane here. But is there some aggression from Yalexen and Fury? They aren't smoked up, so they might not get as big of a surprise factor, but they do have the Chronosphere.
They do have the Chronosphere. Windrunner has not put a point into her ultimate yet, though, so not too much damage will come out from that if they decide to go for it. But we'll see. Remember, Pandrino does have his ultimate right now, so he doesn't really give too much of a hoot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just expecting for him to go blink in. Actually, Treant Protector, value point. Actually, there's a sentry. He's gonna go down. Silenced up as well. Power shot misses, but doesn't matter. Oh, what a nice sentry.
Smart. That was so smart. This Buckler helping them push, man. Getting a little bit more armor.
Yeah, actually now Wrath of Nature to bounce around. V is around as well, they're going to go in, but he gets the stun onto Muck and Shackle Shot doesn't connect, but the Chrono Shot up onto 2 heroes. I'm not too sure if it's going to be enough. There's the Wrath of Nature, or the Thunder God's Wrath rather. Fury dropping low, they need another stun. He blinks into the trees of Time Walks. They have vision stuns, anything?
Got one. That was a really smart Nature's call there, and now that this is what I'm getting at, even just globally, really, really difficult to push against this team. In the top, Drow Ranger goes down, gets caught with her pants down.
And that was so clutch. It was literally one right click away from the tower going down. He thought like, I'm gonna trade it, but oh, familiars! No, not gonna be enough factor.
Drow's not alive, they have no damage.
Oh wow, this...
Yeah, he's forced to resummon.
This tower, it will be back to full HP soon enough, I think.
Let's see, what level is Treant Protector? He doesn't have a level 4 living armor, but yeah, that 20-second cooldown, he'll be fine. Take him just a couple minutes to get that back up.
And that's Hand of Midas finished on Hockey now, on Nature's Prophet.
Instead of the Blade Mail?
And speaking of Blade Mail, Wraith King is gonna go for one. Has the broadsword ready for it.
No, it's just gonna be an extra crit stick. Come on, man.
If you say so. If you say
so. Nah, it's a Blade Mail.
Oh man. But 7-6 now, Balkan Bears. They have gotten some nice kills in return at the very least, keeping their towers alive while doing so. And Thunder God's Wrath, it's soon to be level 2 as well and off cooldown. And we have seen just the power of Wrath of Nature plus Thunder God's Wrath.
Well, the other thing too is just everyone on this team has such a low HP pools. Even the Void, that just an Aghanim's Thunder God. Like, look at that nuke damage that Void just took. He took half his HP when he was sitting on agility treads. So, it's still very powerful. The Zeus is... He had kind of a rough start in lane, but he's been able to recover pretty well.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking bad for Balkan Bears at the moment. Looking at the graphs again now, it is a 500 lead actually for Balkan Bears, but XP it's 3000, which is definitely more important at this stage of the game.
One of the birds goes down in the Radiant Jungle. Would have been unfortunate there. Nature's Prophet, he's in the top lane. He's getting a little bit ballsy. He's going to TP out, but he's going to eat a Mystic Flare. I don't know if that was worth the tower last hit.
Well, economically, in theory it was. His Hand of Midas wasn't off cooldown either. Actually, oh, Mucken, he's going dropping solo Thunder God's Wrath just to ensure the kill, but yeah, Lexin comes in, has a double damage rune Levy, nowhere to run anymore. Leaving armor though, actually keeping him alive. No, not for too long.
Yeah, that's almost a mech done. Let's see, she's got the buckler, so she needs the headdress and the recipe. Yeah, she's basically got her mech done for her team. I'll be interested to see if they try deathballing at that point and trying to really take down these towers, because they're very, very quickly losing lots of map control.
Yeah, man, especially if you have a Treant Protector, that's something you can't really allow to have happen. Otherwise, the Treant Protector just completely falls off. But they get the Blink stun onto the Drow Ranger. Do they have the Burst follow-up? They have the Global Silence, they pop it as well, just to make sure nobody helps out. And they kill off one, they're gonna go for 2 room next, man. Skyrim Mage, definitely not a hard kill to get after that.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of those regret TPs, and, well, he's already halfway to an Aghanim Scepter after that fight, so... This Silencer pick really paying off.
Yeah, so far, I mean, 3, 1, and 4 as well. Really well played by him. The Familiars will scout out Padrinho on the Wraith King, who is level 11, level 2 Reincarnation. So he should be rather fine with just the situation he's in. And support Wraith King, by the way. 1, 0, and 7. Just get them assists.
Hey, it doesn't matter, man. As long as you get creep score. He's got 87 last hits.
So there's a smoke poke picked up by the Drow Ranger. Does it mean solo roast potentially?
Yeah, she's probably going to go for the solo Roche. Whenever you hit level 11 with Drow, you can almost always solo Roche as long as you just have some lifesteal, because you hit so damn hard. That's basically an apex for you. And I think that's something that they need to try to do to get a little bit of leeway back into this game.
Well, at the moment, Balkan Bears, they have most of their ultimates up. Wrath of Nature will be there in 17 seconds time, so they can just use their combo. Global Silence, well, 50 seconds, so... Actually, Roshan is there, but Dream Trails, they're around with so many heroes. Is it giving away the Roshan a little bit, or...?
Well, at the very least, Void is visible in the bottom lane. They're gravitating towards him. Wraithfire Blast is there, Last Word is there, but Time Walk and TP. Space created. Oh! Okay, no, that wasn't the...
Yeah, the timing was a little bit
off. That
off.
was Thunder God's Wrath. Yeah, they know that they're in Roche now, because they had to use the Thunder God's Wrath for Roche, or for the Void.
And Hockey actually, he TP's in now. Balkan Bears like, yeah, thanks for softening up, Roche. We're gonna grab it for ourselves. Or at least
It's
try.
gonna be an interesting fight. There are a lot of trees around here to get shackled to.
Yeah, that's actually one of the downsides of a Nature Prophet. You just create the extra buffer for the Shackle Shot to land on. Even the Sprout potentially, like, can...
Oh,
yeah.
In pubs, Windrunner is like my go-to pick against Furions, just because you kill the Sprout with your power shot, and then he sets himself up for a free shackle. It's so fun. Or if you're on the same team, anyone that's sprouted is a free shackle. It's like 8 seconds of disable from point target.
Levi bottles up a haste rune, activates it as well, but you know, well, those leaving armor charges went down so fast, but Levi, he's there, no ultimate, Zenigata actually comes through as well, but there's a sentry ward. Can they get him in time?
They're not going to reveal it.
Sentry. They want
It's a really
Zenigata to just
awkward,
feel safe.
really awkward stance. And looks like they're going to engage, but Familiar Suns are there. Soul Assumption, Overgrowth coming in. Gold. Oh my god, the damage. Overgrowth catching all of them. Wrath of Nature's there as well. Int being stolen. Not a whole lot of magic resistance on that Visage. He's taking a lot of damage from the Zeus, and the tower goes down. Wraith King still has his reincarnation as well.
Yeah, just straight blink into Roshan. Roshan's still at half HP, doesn't reach as fast at all at the moment. And with the living armor and just 4 points of Vampiric Aura, they should be able to tank it up fairly easily, especially if the treants are coming in now. And Dream Trails, do they actually have anything to contest? I mean, they have the Chronosphere, one of the best ultimates in such just clutch situation, but...
I think they're a little too late. Let's see, he's coming in. No, but Zeus takes the Aegis of the Immortal. But Blink, stun on the Fury, but the Gust is going to be dropping them back. Sentry Ward dropped immediately. And Birds, and Precision Aura hasn't been activated, so these Birds aren't hitting very hard.
Oh man,
so Balkan Bear is just, they're just outmaneuvering TT.
Yeah, and Nature Prophet even going for a Necro Book at the moment, has the level 1 finished. About 850 gold away from level 2. And we, up on the Silencer, only 350 gold from his Aghanims.
God, that's incredible.
Actually, he has only 500 less net worth than the Drow does.
that's saying something. And she had to go for a BKB. Yeah, she has an Ogre Hook, so she's having to go for a BKB just off of the casual Morbid Mask. So this strat is good, but it's just not working out the same way that I think we see most teams experience with it.
Yeah, it's definitely just... They had a plan in mind, but I don't know if it was Balkan Bear's reaction, just having the living armor from the Treant Protector keep some towers alive for a little while too long, or what really just messed up their pace, but something did it. And actually Hockey might be trolling Mystic Fear, the Familiar drops as well, they will get that one kill.
Well, it's a small consolation prize ultimately.
Oh, they might get
mid lane. And they're gonna commit the Chrono.
It should be an easy kill. Power Shot gonna come out as well, and that was an Aegis only, so...
Come on, it's an easy shackle. Easy shackle. Oh.
Well, V was also coming in, and actually so was Padrinho. I guess, in hindsight, well, we saw them coming in, so... Might have been the better choice, but bottom lane, they will get the tier 2 potentially. They use the glyph, living armor goes down almost immediately with the familiars, just right-clicking away. But Zenigata, he has his overgrowth, will he go for it? Will he stop the TP? Yes! But where's the assistance? It's coming slowly, Zenigata is still invisible. He's gonna get far enough from the sentry wards. And yeah, coming.
But Drow's stuck. This is totally worth it for them. This is also gonna be a little bit more int for Silencer, and Not worth it. Tree doesn't even die.
Yeah, he just kited it around, and with this not only does he have his items, even has just a little bit extra, can buy a TP, maybe wards, and has level 2 global silence. This is just a huge item pickup, and no BKBs are anywhere in sight. I mean, Throw Ranger 600 gold away, but she's really the only one.
This is just absurd. Visage has also been just farming his Aghanims and only has a point booster. He's 1,400 gold away, but it all depends on your Drow being farmed. And I mean, it's not looking that it's going to stay that way. The farm's going to be starting to really accelerate here for Balkan Bears as they're gaining more map control.
Yeah, and I mean, don't think their map control gain is going to slow down at all, especially since Necrobooks are coming out from Hockey. It's level 2 now as well, has the recipe in the stash. And I mean, to be honest, when they have the global silence, Thunder God's Wrath as well off cooldown with the Wrath of Nature, do you think they should just go press the issue, go get tier 2s?
Probably. I think when you're ahead, get more ahead, the Artosis way. But there's a smoke. They were going to the bottom lane to try to catch this Nature's Prophet. And it looks like they have Con him, but there's a Sprout right away, but Windrunner's not in position to get the Shackle. Global Silence actually going to be used. Now they know that there's the Ag Zem. They're getting the Curse of the Silent. Blink stun onto Fury. 1-2 crit. Not even a crit, sorry, but...
I mean, Hockey himself didn't know that his team is just gonna commit to the fight. He was like, yeah, I'm TPing outside in global silent. Oh wait, we can turn it. And just such an easy kill onto Fury. Fizz's Void, I mean, Mask of Madness, it's kind of a double-edged sword. If you get caught, you're just screwed because you take way more damage.
Oh yeah,
you don't
absolutely.
want to take more damage against Jesus.
I remember a game I was playing with Fjord when he was playing Faceless Void, and it seemed like every time he would use his Mask of Madness to farm, they would just hop on him and kill him. It really just... It makes you nervous to use it too, and it's also, you gotta make up for it being making it a farming utility, things like that, and when the other team is good at punishing you for it, it just makes it hard to use the item properly.
Oh yeah, I mean, to be honest, at the moment, the Skyriff Mage is level 8. He has gotten some kills thanks to the Mystic Flare, but usually you see the Skyriff Mage is just roaming around early, getting that really early level 6.
He doesn't even have mana boots. He's been the one that's had to buy all the wards because they're trying to rush the Zags on Visage.
At least Visage is 1,000 gold away, almost 900 even. But
I don't think it's
I'm pretty sure he's
anything.
gonna lose some of it soon.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So Power Shot's going to be there, and it's decent anti-push, but not when there's a Blink Wraith King. That guy died quite... Wow.
I mean, check the shot lands, but what does it really do? Wraith King's already level 15, has the armor coming out from the Blade Mail, has the Maelstrom on top of it, plus another 2.1k gold. So do you think he's gonna just straight out finish the Mjolnir now?
I think that would probably be the best choice, or he could go for the MKB right away so that he can make sure that he doesn't have to worry about wind renovation. He could also go for a BKB if he wants, go for a heart, but I think Mjolnir is probably the best choice, just so that whenever he puts the static charge on himself, people are nervous to hit him.
Oh wow, this is gonna be such an easy tier 2, just completely uncontested, although Fury isn't the bottom lane with Yakami. They have the Chronosphere, but they're just so reluctant to defend their own base.
I mean, this is the thing about Wraith King, you just can't really jump on him because you get slowed. It's just ridiculous. Shackle Shot will land onto the range creep, but they can't really do anything about it. He's always going to have his ultimate. There's the mech as well, and they're just trying to split push bottom, and yeah, they'll get bottom, but that's not worth your tier 3. But Global Silence comes in. This is what I'm talking about, playing a Faceless Void against a Silencer. It's so difficult.
The Throw Ranger came in with a BKB, got overgrowth immediately and just taken out with physical damage. Void fought back, he still has the Chronosphere, so that's a good sign for them. He's gonna go in, he catches free here as well, but Patrino, he's the buffer. Fury himself, he can't do much of anything, to be honest. Levi might go down. Kiilstofte actually does use it just at the end. Will heal up a little bit, and that's GG called.
I'm not sure exactly where it went wrong for TT.
Neither am I, but...
I don't know, I'm a little flabbergasted.
But from some point onwards, it was just nowhere to go anymore. Balkan Bears, their burst damage, just their frontliner, the Wraith King, they couldn't do anything against it. The draw just wasn't big enough, and neither was the Faceless Void.
I think mainly it just comes down to when you have a Furion and a Treant Protector, if you're even against them, if you're playing an even game against them, it just becomes exponentially harder just because of your control of the map. And you can't chip damage towers. That's what this strat is really good at as well. And when you have more space to farm, you have more space to gank, and also just they really had to throw the Skywrath under the bus because they wanted to rush that Ags on the Visage, and the Faceless Void and the offlane got zoned really well. It was just, I think Balkan Bears just played a very good game.
Yeah, they certainly did, but it is a 2-game series after all, so we're gonna head into game number 2 now, where Team Traels, they will have a chance to just redeem themselves, throw up the series 1-1, but whether they will be able to is a whole different matter. But guys, thanks so much for watching already game number 1. If you want to see more of Balkan Bears, as well as Team Traels, and just support Join the League overall, stay tuned for game number 2 as well. We were HeflaTV, I'm Coucher, my co-caster Roxas, you can follow him on Twitter at Call Me Roxas. It's in the topic, the title on Twitch as well if you want to see it out. So, just guys, see you for game number 2.
See you in a bit.